Yo, my savages. This is Roy, and we're back with the third video. So, guys, for the third one, I'm going just straight off the bat, right from the heart, guys, because this is a pretty good subject. The funny thing is, I was originally gonna make this video right off the bat in the morning. I loafed it for the gym and a bunch of other stuff, and ironically, I had a good talk with one of my buddies, and the conversation I was helping him with, ironically, coincides with the video. So now we have a story that he allowed me to use. Now, obviously, I'm not going to use his name or anyone else's name, but you'll get the gist of the story. So to jump into it, basically, my buddy, he's studying something. He's studying medical, and he's really smart, genius. And this guy, let me tell you something, down from health, for physique, being, a bigger dude just like myself. He worked his way through it. He's now a bigger build, does boxing and whatnot. And as I mentioned, medical school from at one point where people thought he wasn't going to do anything with his life in regards to education. So he's definitely one of my I'd write a documentary on him, let's just say, if I get up there. So that's him, and basically he called me and he was having not too good of a day. Now, him like myself, we're very extrovert. We love talking to people, making people happy. We're never really sad or anything like that, and we're very cheerful. You may know people like me, him, and or like yourself. Not much really gets to us. But at the same time, you have other people where, whether it's just they're terrible people in general, or maybe there's something that they're going through that's making them, not so nice of a person at that time. There's that people. So I was gonna name the video "One Be Yourself" and also "Good versus Bad." Now, it doesn't actually mean good versus bad, just or like good and evil, I'd say. Good, but more so, people who are on the right track in regards to positive mentality, and then some who are on a negative track. And also just being yourself and not letting people, really deter what you want to do. So to carry on with the story, they were doing a presentation, and he listened to her presentation, and throughout the end, he wanted to relate it to something else and another presentation. And the individual, and he came up cheerful to her, good job or whatnot, gave her feedback, and she hit him back with a very negative, response. She said thank you, but in a sleazy way, and it kind of it threw him off, because those ones you kind of get sucker punched. You see in the shows. You go usually, let's say, like Goku. In this case, he goes up to one of the enemies at the tournament. He's like, "Hey, I'm Goku," and they're like, "Get the hell out of here." Goku's kind of like, "All right then," and he's a good example. I'll link it back to that. But if you guys watch the show, or if you watch any movie or where you've seen it, kind of like a scene like that, there was a moment like that where you're kind of like, "Wow, I put myself out there," and it came back to me negative. So. He was really down about that, and I showed him from previously, you gotta work on yourself, and I believe why it affected him a lot is because mentally he maybe wanted that, thanks or that recognition for giving that intake towards them. And, as humans, we always want others to kind of recognize us and acknowledge us, and then it is a good thing and it's a good feeling, but the best thing I would say to do is work towards you wanting to acknowledge yourself, because if you could really get to that point, guys, ultimately you won't require anyone's acknowledgement or anyone's approval. You'll be more naturally happy, and that's what I was trying to tell him. It's like, if that person does that, you let them do that. I personally would like to break it down. Maybe there's something that she's going through. Maybe she's in the medical field too. You have to take in such a small niche of a lot of people, but who gets in, it's almost like a small niche, right, where not everyone's going to get to that point. So everyone's really to themselves. It's a very hard field, and you gotta toughen your skin. And to toughen your skin, a lot of people think that means to be bad, to be mean and whatnot, and sometimes it may come off as so, but you have to protect yourself, because ultimately how people's negativity, how it wavers your good energy, it's going to cause more negative ultimately, right? Because if someone makes you, shits on your day, let's say, you may put that negativity now that's been transferred over to you over to someone else, because now your mind is no longer on that straight path, or you're not really thinking anything positive at that point. So, was it really worth it opening up to help that individual that's, a sour individual, let's say, where they're openly, you can see they're sour. I'm not saying don't attempt to help that person, but come with your shield, you're going in with your sword, but you don't have that shield. Remember, they could attack back. They look neutral at that time, but they could attack back, and now nobody wins in that case. And I was trying to kind of break that down to him. And what if I was wanted to be yourself, why I was kind of trying to link it to that is when you work on yourself, guys, when you realize, I want to do this is what I want in life. And if you don't know that, take time to think about it. Stay home. Don't go out to the club, guys. Don't, even for the gym too, keep in mind, don't go out to the club. Don't drink. And yeah, it's good to see your friends, but 365, if you ever thought about it, guys, for 365 days a year, how many times do you spend, I'm not saying don't come chill with people, but how many times do you spend not working on yourself, as opposed to just going outside and being in a social activity and not really doing anything? I don't want to say, but yeah, productive, I would say. Fun's good, but I feel like a lot of times we have too much fun, and then when shit gets hard, all of a sudden we're stressing. If we just did both in increments, it would be a lot easier. And that's something I'm learning right now, and that even falls under the gym, because if your mind's not in the right place in regards to work, guys, your just everyday life, bills, whatever it is, then the gym's not even gonna be an idea, because your mind is not mentally strong enough to get to that point. You're dealing with other shit. So I'm not saying I have the answer to solve your problems. I'm saying if you work on just sitting, how do I word it? If you just work on just being alone for a bit and really breaking down, write down your problems. Write down solution to the problems. As stupid as it sounds, put it on paper. Get your mind flowing. Your mind's a beautiful thing. It's a machine. The more you feed it, just like a computer, right? The more you use Google, the more your computer reads and understands you. And now it starts popping up on your stuff. You type in one word and then boom, the whole freaking website comes up. How does it know that? It's literally reading your mind. And how did we build computers like that? I guess because we learned how our mind works in a sense, and then they transferred it over when they're making computers. And now I don't know, computers just control everything. So to think about it in that sense, right? You need to train your mind and build it so it remembers itself always. So if anyone ever attempts to deter you with their negativity, you could redirect it and send it, not necessarily send it back to them, but at least not make it affect you. And from there, you'll be able to better deal with the issue, right? Another thing I would say is too, maybe, you have 2 ears and 1 mouth. This is one thing I really need to learn myself, but you have 2 ears and 1 mouth, so you should be listening twice as much and talking half, right? So that's another thing too, because what I found was too, and this is what I told him, is since the case be that he kind of came out there first and spoke to her, you don't know what's going to happen at that point, right? So you kind of have to hope for the best in that sense for him, and it shot him back in the face in this case. So kind of lost my point there. I'm sorry, guys, but at the end of the day, ultimately, when you work with yourself and understand that what you want to do is what you want to do, and if someone doesn't like it, well, they're not on that journey, right? It's not like it was their goal, it was their path, and it's what they wanted to do, right? You ask for their feedback. On what to do, not necessarily for them to actually dictate what your choice is going to be. And second to that, it's not always good to ask people, because A lot of times we go towards our friends and then we ask people who are close to our family, but that person may not particularly know what you were talking about or the field that you're speaking of. So they're just going to give their general intake on that situation, and that might deter you from doing what you want to do. I wanted to start YouTube years ago, but for 1,000 times they told me that makes no money, there's no point to it. And now it's even slowing down. I don't want to do it for the money. I always wanted to do it to help people, but you know, everyone kind of always pushes you down that rat race trail of what makes the most money and what should I do. Realistically, guys, do what the hell you want to do, and you'll love it. You'll do it every day. You can't wait to do it. You can't wait to go to work. How many of you can say that you go to a job, you may kind of like it, but it's not something you really want to do most often than not. You do it to get money. So more often than not, you notice you switch jobs every couple of years because you get bored of it. You don't get bored of playing games if you want to play games, or playing ball if you want to play ball, or helping people if you want to help people, whatever it is that your special gift is. But if you do that, not only will you feel better, not only would you be, you know, giving the best naturally because that's your gift, you're not going to think of it as work, so you will find a way for it to make money, because ultimately you do need to make money with what you're doing with your time, I believe, because well, you got to pay the bills, you know. If you can't pay the bills, you can't do the stuff you want to do with your time. So it all correlates together, guys. And he understood it, and actually it kind of clear his mind, and now he's going to go into it next time. Not necessarily his guard up, but more cautious in how he goes about it. And I told him, just go about what you're doing, do what you have to do, and don't let anyone deter you from that, guys. And from there, if that does help with this problem that you're going through right now, I'm not, as I said once again, I'm not saying I will solve it with an answer, but I'm saying if you kept to yourself for a bit and really thought about it, and just kind of really broke it down, whether you want to write it down or thought of it with yourself, not with someone else, with yourself, you may find you feel as if, you may find that you'll find the answer. And if you can find the answer within yourself, guys, you become your own guru, and that's one of the best things. I'm not saying I'm some sort of meditating guru, teacher, monk, but I bet there's very similar teachings to what they show, and I do want to study that more to put into the channel in regards to the building your mind portion of the channel. So I kind of want to end it off with that, guys. A little story we want to break off. There's gonna be good and bad people, as I mentioned. To conclude, don't let the bad people deter the good people, because the more bad people, you know, or I should say the more negative people that put the negative people on the positive people, we're just going to be going backwards in life. So if you're a positive individual and you're a strong-minded person and you know you just literally like helping people, never let that person tear you down. Go for the people that you see that really are looking for the help. Sorry guys, the video randomly cut out, but don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like, share, and stay positive. Peace.
I'm eating healthy.